All right. Good morning, everybody. How we doing? Yes, greetings, Detrice, Andre, Paul. Good morning. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I got back out on a running trail this morning, so that was good. I definitely needed a kick in the butt. Bailey gave me that because I was being lazy, but I'm happy to have gotten back on the horse. Right. I did get some physical activity in last week. I got this intramural like dodgeball league that I do on Wednesdays, and I was so sore for like the next 3 days. But other than that, just not going to sleep on time, right? So this is me vocally telling you guys that I'm getting back on the horse, right? Getting back serious about my sleep schedule and getting back out on the running trail because physical activity is important. Right? Connecting with nature is important. Making sure that you are moving your body, all that is important. You might say, Adam, all you need to do is sit there and analyze stocks. That's your job. That's the only thing that should be important to you. But in order to best execute in markets, you have to make sure that your mental is taken care of. So all of that goes into you effectively, operating within the space of the stock market. Because when you think about it, the closest environment that we operate in as humans, the closest environment that we operate in, similar to the stock market, is space. And how few of humans operate in space? What do you have to be? Like space, I mean like outside of our world's atmosphere. You have to be in top physical shape, top mental shape, right? Have the right mindset, have the right information and system, and then execute. So it's the same thing because space is the only other thing that we come in contact with that is limitless. And technically, the market is limitless, right? Humans aren't meant to operate in spaces without limits. And I think that's something that we 1000% struggle with because we have to put limitations on everything in order to understand it. So you got to treat the market just like you treat space. You got to be ready, right? Have your mental acuity locked in, your physical acuity locked in, and in that way you can operate as best as you can. It's not like you can't operate in space and be an astronaut and be a little bit chubby. You can, right? Or be like a little bit sad or a little bit depressed. You can, but you're not going to be the best that you can be, right? You're not going to operate at maximum efficacy. So that's really what it's about, right? And then also just telling people, hey, get back on the horse, right? Tell people to get you accountable, great things like that, because we're all here to do what? Get 1% better. So, on that note, if we could get this to lock in, I don't know if it doesn't like the cactus. I got a new little animation back there. It's of a flowering cactus that's waving to everybody. So, we're trying to start the vibes off good. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe the camera struggling. We get a little focus action. I guess not. Whatever. We'll roll, I guess, with the whatever came before 1080p, 720, something like that. I guess we'll roll with the 720. But we're going to dive into what we have going on this week. You guys know that Monday is our deluxe pre-market prep session where we go over what we are to expect out of the week. And then also, what we need to go over in terms of Monday specific news. So it's very important because you've got to lay the groundwork. Nobody goes to war without getting reconnaissance first, having intelligence. You don't want to jump into something and not know what you're going into. So Monday is a very, very important day to be here for the pre-market prep sessions. And, I'm excited to go over what we've got on the slate and lay the groundwork because that will determine how we move this week, right? So in terms of the week ahead, and by the way, everybody make sure you throw that one in the chat, signifying your intention to get 1% better. That's all we're trying to do by the end of this. Get 1% better each and every day, each and every day. It's December, right? Yes, it is the end of the year, but you still have a month, right? If you get 1% better each day, that's 30% better you could be by 2024. I'm going to take that opportunity each and every time, right? Get a little bit better, get a little bit better. A lot of you guys have been making a lot of, major moves in order to better yourself in markets and outside of them. I'm super proud of that, and I'm happy to be a part of it, happy to meet everybody's energy and kind of continue to push each other. So that's just also pushing me, right? We got a month left, but, a few of you I've talked to, it's awesome that you don't have to wait until the new year to start, right? Because again, we mentioned how you save everything for the new year and then suddenly you're there, you're run down from holidays and you've got 20 things that you want to start doing, right? It's a lot tougher to do that than just add something in first week of December, add something in second week of December, right? Then you come in January and you're like, man, I'm already eating right. I'm already exercising. I'm already, going over past Q&As to familiarize myself with price action and chart patterns. All I now have to do is add, journaling to the list, which is what I want to do, or add, helping out at the homeless shelter to the list. You can add one or two things, right, instead of adding 6 or 7. So in terms of our top news here this week, looking at the week ahead, the economics calendar this week will be highlighted by the U.S. jobs report on Friday. The non-farm payrolls report could be high stakes for interest rate watchers as it arrives just 5 days before the Federal Reserve's December 13th meeting. Economists forecast payrolls growth will rise to 200,000 in November from 150,000 job additions in October, and the unemployment rate to stay steady at 3.9%. In addition, the JOLTS and ADP reports will be released earlier in the week. The event calendar is busy with Shopify, McDonald's, and Johnson & Johnson all hosting investor events that could include guidance and strategy updates. The earnings calendar includes reports from Broadcom, whose ticker is AVGO, Lululemon, whose ticker is Lulu, GameStop, whose ticker is GME, Chewy, whose ticker is CHWY, C3.ai, whose ticker is AI, and then Dollar General, whose ticker is DG. So in terms of the schedule itself, what do we have? We do have NIO reporting on Tuesday, JM Smuckers on Tuesday as well, Campbell's Soup reporting on Wednesday, C3AI on Wednesday, GameStop on Wednesday, and then ChargePoint Holdings also on Wednesday. And Thursday is the big day when it comes to earnings. That's Broadcom, who reports on Thursday, and then Lululemon, and then Dollar General. So the biggest names out of the week, we're definitely coming in the tail end of earnings season, but the biggest names out of the week are coming at the end of the week. And Lulu is coming up. Lulu's kind of expensive when it comes to like trading. You guys know that normally I try and keep things like super accessible. I believe their contracts are a little bit more on the pricier side. Let me see what we're looking like 2 weeks out. Yeah, definitely a little bit more on the pricier side. But I would not that I'm going to go and make a bet on Lulu earnings, but if I had to, I'd say that I expect good things from Lulu's earnings, given the record number of Black Friday sales, plus the fact that Lulu just tends to crush it. They're just a well-run company. It's not like they don't have missteps, right? They do have things that don't end up working out, but they do a lot very well. And I'm also a big fan. I love running in their stuff, wearing their stuff casually. They make great quality things. In terms of other things happening this week, conference schedule, not super important. So let's go to Market Watch here and check out our economic calendar. All right. So let's see. Right now, this is still okay. So can we load up? Cool. It's switching between last week's and then let me update this, I guess. Keep switching between last week's and this week's. Okay, so nothing important today on the economic calendar. Tomorrow, S&P U.S. Services PMI. That's something at 9:45 that can cause, like a little blip during market hours. So kind of important to be aware of that. Sometimes the market will like chop before data like that, and then the actual move will happen after we get whatever that data is. So that could be one of those instances. It's not like it's gonna, rocket us up or drop us, but typically whatever move we were about to do only gets done after that data. So you got data at 9:45 a.m. tomorrow and then 10 a.m. Wednesday, ADP employment, nothing very important. Jobless claims at 8:30 a.m. on Thursday. The big thing, of course, is going to be Friday with the U.S. unemployment rate. That's going to be the biggest thing this week. And then consumer sentiment prelim numbers on Friday as well. So it's nice that we don't have a whole lot going on in terms of data that's dropping and economic reports and Fed speakers, because then that just leaves us alone with the price action, which is nice. It's like if you're in a one-on-one fight and I know that you don't have backup coming in at any time, it makes it easier for me to just focus on you. So we can just focus on the price action that the market is giving us and move based off that, which is quite the situation that you want to be in when it comes to the market. It's a little bit more annoying when you have 30 different things you have to factor in. Makes it a little bit tougher. Now, let's go to, I'm sitting here like, I didn't even make my protein shake. I'm sitting here like, wow, why is my stomach growling? I'm starving. It's because I didn't even make my shake. So I guess I'll do that right after I hop off here. But now we're going to get into our Monday specific news, right? There are 2 in the chat. If you're still with me, you're still locked in, you're taking in this information, and you're about to use it to apply that knowledge in the market in order to, increase that bottom line. So there are 2 in the chat if you're still with me. If not, I like being your background noise as well, but I'd rather be making a positive impact in your life and making you some more scratch headed into that holiday season. Who wants to use their own money for gifts when you can have the stock market pay for it? In terms of top news, education versus experience, 2023 has been a year of big changes, especially with regards to the economy and the job market. Labor has remained tight despite the Fed's tightening cycle, prompting some profound changes in hiring practices and gatekeeping in HR circles. Under discussion is the value of a diploma, as well as the time and cost that come with it. And if more can be done to open up industries to the nearly 80 million workers in the U.S. labor force that do not hold a college degree. And if more can be done under discussion is the value of a diploma, as well as the time and cost that come with it, and if more can be done to open up industries to the nearly 80 million workers in the U.S. labor force that don't hold a college degree. Skills first hiring. IBM was one of the first pioneers that moved away from bachelor's degree requirements to broaden its talent pool. Back in 2016, CEO Ginny Rometty coined the term new collar worker with the aim of hiring cloud technicians, database managers, cybersecurity personnel, user interface designers, and other type of IT positions. The decision helped pave the way for people to be eligible for higher paying corporate jobs through skills mastered outside the traditional four-year college framework, which could be combined with on-the-job training, apprenticeships, and a path towards new skills as employees settled into their roles. By 2021, IBM had stripped bachelor's degree requirements for more than half of its U.S. job openings and said it would continuously reevaluate our roles to prioritize skills over specific degrees. Other companies have followed suit, including Accenture, Bank of America, General Motors, Kellogg's, Okta, as well as other major airlines like American Airlines, Delta, Southwest, United. Things have continued in 2023 with Walmart expanding its new-collar workforce in September by eliminating the need for a college degree to climb its corporate ladder. Now, in terms of a war for talent, current labor market dynamics are very different than those that emerged in the aftermath of the financial crisis. A four-year degree requirement was seen then as a great resume filter for companies that could afford to pick and choose candidates. But since the COVID pandemic, the environment has gotten a whole lot tighter. The ongoing labor shortage might continue to see a relaxing of prior standards, particularly in growing industries such as technology, where the demand for workers with specialized skills far exceeds the supply. For others, a college education provides a rite of passage, a comfortable employment hedge, or opportunities that might not have otherwise been attainable. I feel like it must be like a slow news day if this is what we're talking about, education versus experience. I think at the end of the day, college is definitely going to end up being a vestige of the past. I don't know if I'll still send my kids to college. Like at the end of the day, I'd rather pay for you to learn something specialized that you care about than, send you to college. And college is a lot of fun, but at the end of the day, the bang for your buck just isn't there, especially with how expensive it's gotten. So we'll see how it ends up developing, but I just don't think the current college structure is sustainable given the crippling amounts of debt that you incur, and really the payoff is what at this point. But that's just my 2 cents. I still think, everybody now going into college, if there are certain things you still need to go to college for, but while you spend 4 years studying and not out here doing a job or doing this or doing that, in 2 years, they might have trained an AI model to literally displace your major. So it's tough. I don't know if I go to college rather than just like hitting it hard and learning, new skills and new technological things and paying to do that in order to kind of stay ahead of the curve than like going through and taking freaking University 100 when ChatGPT is out here diagnosing people better than doctors are. Like I couldn't imagine if I was now pre-med knowing that I would have to go through like 8 to 10 years of school and then I finally become a doctor, and by then, who knows? It might be freaking AI in the White House. Like, just doesn't sound like the smartest thing to do. In terms of what's on the move, Arctic Lays, the airline sector is set for more consolidation with Alaska Air, ticker ALK, agreeing to acquire Hawaiian Airlines, ticker HA, for $18 per share in cash, or about $1.9 billion, including debt. The combination is expected to bolster the airline's competitive position and expand choice for consumers on the West Coast and Hawaii. Investing group leader Dhiren Bachai said that while the deal appears fair, it is somewhat odd in terms of fleet compatibility. Alaska Air fell 9% before the bell on Monday, while Hawaiian Airlines shares more than doubled. The proposed deal comes days ahead of the closing arguments in the DOJ's antitrust lawsuit against JetBlue's $3.8 billion purchase of Spirit Airlines. Yeah, who knows if this will actually go through? That's the big thing. You guys have heard me talk about it a number of times. Under this administration, the regulatory, bodies and agencies have been a lot stricter. They really aren't letting companies acquire other companies. They've been like fiercely fighting it. So I don't know if this ends up going through. But as of right now, we're seeing that classic stock repercussion where the company that is purchasing the other company, their stock goes down. The company whose company is being purchased, their stock goes up, right? And that's because, for any of you guys who don't know, it's like if you win a bidding war or something like that. If you win an auction, typically you have to overpay to win an auction because you have to outbid other people. So that's why the stock of the company that is like acquiring the company goes down, because more than likely they had to overpay to get it. And then, of course, if you get overpaid for, your stock's going to go up. So that's why that's happening there. In terms of like any type of move I want to make stock market wise based off of this, the answer is no, right? I'm not really looking to get in on Hawaiian Airlines after the stock has doubled based off of a deal that I don't know if it'll end up going through. In terms of energy news, and that's kind of how you want to parse through information. You don't want to say, okay, cool, Adam, like I'm going to go get calls on Hawaiian Airlines. The stock's doubled already, right? Plus, it's not like it's a super, super liquid stock. I'm not looking to go do that when I can go, do plays on Microsoft and Apple and all that, and get much more liquid stocks and better movement. So in terms of energy news here, pending invasion, raising concerns of a potential military conflict between the two countries, Venezuelan electoral authorities have claimed that 95% of voters have supported the Maduro government's effort to claim the oil-rich Essequibo region controlled by neighboring Guyana. A referendum on the issue was held on Sunday, despite the UN's top court ordering Venezuela not to take any action to change Guyana's control over the area. With Caracas reportedly preparing for a possible invasion, Guyanese President Mohamed Irfan Ali emphasized, quote, the rule of law to determine the outcome of this controversy. To note, ExxonMobil, ticker XOM, Hess, ticker HES, and Chevron, ticker CVX, have interests in the region, which has over 11 billion barrels of recoverable oil and gas. And the wheel of time spins and spins, right? It's a story as old as time. Unfortunately, it will continue. Wherever there are natural resources, there will be people there to pillage them. And that's the same thing that we have going on here. Nicolas Maduro is not someone who cares about war crimes or anything else. He's been chopping people's heads off. And unfortunately, we have to deal with him just because our, energy market is so hard pressed with oil. We are the largest producer of oil in the world, but we also use way more than we produce. So we still need to buy some. And, instead of going to Iran, which I guess we've argued is worse, we go to Maduro in Venezuela. So he'll probably end up seizing that land and we'll probably end up supporting it. But in terms of today's market, it's looking mostly red across the board. To start out, in Asia, Japan, we're down 0.6%. Hong Kong, we're down 1.1%. China, we're down 0.3%. India, up 2.1%. The FTSE in London down 0.4%. When we look to Europe, Paris down 0.3%. Frankfurt is flat. The Dow down 0.2%. S&P down 0.3%. Nasdaq down 0.4%. Crude oil down 0.4%. Gold flat. Bitcoin up 5.4% to above 40K. Bitcoin's still on that run, right, that I anticipated over the technical level that it broke through. Fired a nice, weekly chart pattern, and it's continuing to run up. So we'll see, what all these other crypto tickers are looking like here this morning. That might be something to take a look at if they haven't gapped up, something crazy overnight. But yeah, Coinbase was something where it got that weekly breakout, right? So Coinbase long swings is something that I talked about, something that was mentioned. So those Coinbase long swings putting in work, but we also worked coin shorter term as well. So, coin playing out quite nicely here. Let's see what else we got going on. What else is happening? So we'll wrap up with our rapid fire bullet point rundown. U.S. makes COP28 splash with methane rule. $3 billion added to climate aid pledge. Dog and Pony Show. Walmart, ticker WMT, joins growing list of companies not advertising on X. Well, we know what Elon has to say in response to that. And it's something that I won't be, conveying here on this stream, which is family friendly. But Boeing, ticker BA, eliminated from Air Force contest for Doomsday plane. Third round, Spotify to lay off 17% of workforce to curb costs. Wall Street sees GTA 6 as major catalyst for Take-Two, ticker TTWO. 3 commercial ships attacked by Yemeni Houthis in Red Sea. Biotechs post record gains in November amid improving outlook. Virgin Galactic, ticker Space, drops as Branson plans no further investments. He's been divesting from that, though. I mean, he pulled out of them like what, a year and a half ago, and essentially like left it dead in the water. So that was just not a great sign. And I don't foresee Virgin Galactic, coming back from that. Legalized Texas sports betting may not be such a long shot after all. And then Piper sees GLP-1s increasing near-term demand for knee and hip surgeries. So that'll pretty much lock us in, right? Lock us in and take us out this week. We're kicking the week off Monday morning. We want to start hot, right? Set the tone. Again, you don't want to kind of be, I don't know, rash and just run out in the morning and say it's Monday morning. Let me go get calls on everything, right? Make sure you take the time to observe the market, see what's going on, have a plan, execute that plan, right? And then stick to it when it comes to taking profit. That's all you can do, and it works out, very nicely for you in markets if you can stick to the plan. So let's commit to getting 1% better this week. I'm excited to keep trudging forward. We've got SPY in this high rising wedge that I posted about on Instagram. If you haven't seen that, go check out that last reel. And if you haven't commented on it, go comment on that last reel because it was a pretty fire reel. We're bringing this information proactively to the community for free, right? Talk about being the change you want to see. That's what we're doing here within the Stock Options Made Easy community, right? Chasing purpose. The bag is just a byproduct. Everybody make sure you have a great rest of the day. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning for our next pre-market prep stream. Have a good one.